You can measure light by using your camera's light meter. This will weigh most heavily the center portion of your image. By using a long focal length lens or zoom lens in telephoto position and measuring the light on each part of your frame or subject, you can get a sense for how bright or dark the various areas are. If an area is too bright, it will be clipped by the image sensor and appear completely white. If an area is too dark, it will appear grayish and full of noise. When light shines directly onto your subject from a bright lamp or other source, it can create stark contrast and pronounced shadows. Usually, it's more flattering to your subject to shoot under cloud cover, in the shade, or with reflected and diffused light, such as when light reflects off an umbrella or shines through silk. The direction of the light will impact the end result. Study and experiment with placing your subject or bouncing and reflecting light to achieve the look you're after. By shining a bit more light on one side of an object than another, you can create an illusion of 3 dimensions, which is important for good 2-dimensional images. The greater the contrast between the light and dark portions, the more dramatic your photo will look. As we talked about previously, a great photo will show a full range of light from bright to dark as shown by a histogram of that image. Direct your subjects and light your scene if possible until you can achieve a great balance of highlights, midtones, and shadows in your picture. Use backlight to overexpose your foreground subject and create silhouettes when desirable. Use either auto exposure compensation in any creative mode or the manual mode to achieve this. The exposure metering modes determine how the camera sets exposure. Change the metering settings in your camera by pressing the access button. When the information screen is illuminated, scroll to the metering modes. Press OK. Make your desired selection and press OK again. There are 3 metering modes to choose from. Matrix metering. This looks at the entire image within the frame to determine the proper exposure. This is great for portraits and some backlit subjects. Center-weighted metering. In this mode, the camera looks at the entire frame's needs, but most heavily weighs the center portion of the frame to make the final determination. This mode is for advanced users to obtain the right exposure using the appropriate exposure compensation. Spot metering. This looks at the center of the frame to determine exposure needs at that precise point. This is great for determining exposure differences between different parts of the subject or scene. Use this setting when there is strong light surrounding the subject.